Hi, my name is Konstantin, and in today's video, I'm going to give you an ultimate overview of blockchain, and also you will have an idea of what is cryptocurrency is. So why we're seeing a lot of people are investing billions of dollars in cryptocurrencies and also blockchain-related projects as well. We're seeing a mass adoption in healthcare, finance, real estate, and logistics, and many more industries as well. Actually, by the end of this video, I'm going to give you a real world use case scenario where blockchain is implemented. But let's now first dive into the definition of blockchain. As well know, we have a centralized entities such as banks, government departments, and large corporations, which are acting as a middleman to perform some sort of services. For example, banks are helping us to keep our money safe, do some transactions, do withdrawals, and so on. In this case, our data, funds, and ability to do the transactions are controlled by a bank, by a centralized entity. And there are many instances where some of the entities are making decisions in their favor, ignoring the public interest. Like Wells Fargo created millions of fraudulent accounts without the client consent, or government printing money, which causes inflation. And there are many instances centralized entities are having the full control, and that's where the blockchain brings us the idea of decentralization. So let's take a look on how those blocks are linked together. So when the block is generated, it also creates its own unique hash. And you might ask, what is a hash? A hash is a mathematical function which can take any data type and come up with a single alphanumeric value which is called hash. And as you can see here, each block has its own hash. So if you change a single bit of data inside the block, for example, you open a text editor and you change a single letter, it will completely regenerate a new hash number, which is completely different from the hash that was before. In this way, we can say that a hash is a fingerprint of our datasets inside a block. Every next block stores the value of the first block. So for example, as you can see on the picture, that the hash of the first block is also stored inside the second block, and the third block stores the value of our second block. So in this way, if someone has decided to tamper with the block, for example, block number 2, it will completely change its hash, and the third and other consecutive blocks will not be valid because the hash is totally different. And if we go to the very beginning of our chain, our first block, the first block is called genesis, also known as block 0, which is start of our chain. So now we have a general idea what this blockchain is. Now let's ask a question, in what way it makes it decentralized? Anyone with a computer can participate in a blockchain network maintenance to validate and store the entire blockchain history. And there is big numbers of computers which are called nodes, and they are a large part of the network which is called peer-to-peer network. For example, currently Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, and it has tens of thousands of nodes operating to maintain its blockchain. So once a new block is being created, it is being validated by the entire network. So if that block is not compliant by the network, it will be rejected. As you can see, the system is decentralized because everyone is maintaining the blockchain. So there is no single centralized entity that control it. Now we know what is the blockchain in a nutshell, but you probably heard a word miners. Miners are also nodes, and usually with the powerful computers to calculate those hashes, which we talked earlier. So because it takes a lot of computing power and electricity to come up with those hashes, those miners are rewarding with some type of reward. For example, in Bitcoin, those miners are rewarded with a new mined Bitcoin, as well a transaction fee which is paid during the transaction between parties. This concept is called the proof of work. The work is actually to generate those hashes using the computing power to create a new block, which is then verified by the network. Now, as I promised, I will give you a real-world example of blockchain implementation. Of course, we do have those cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Bitcoin, where parties can exchange these assets between each other, and also they can invest some money into different cryptocurrencies. But let's take a look at the healthcare industry. Healthcare industry has a lot of different issues where blockchain can be beneficial, but one of the issue is patient data security and also sharing patient information between different hospitals. There are a lot of information breaches in that industry because the hospitals store a lot of sensitive information about the patient, such as credit card information and banking information, which is very desirable for bad actors. Moreover, if I go to a hospital A, for example, in my area, that hospital has all my information. For example, if I have an allergy or if I have a diabetes or any medications that I'm currently taking. But for example, if I went to a different place and I got injured and I'm going to a different hospital, that hospital might not have my information if they're not in the same network. And in this case, they will ask me a lot of questions about my healthcare history and I might not remember everything. Even the person who is going to a hospital, they might have some concussions. They might give a wrong information, which might be very dangerous in case of emergency. In this way, blockchain allows us to have a decentralized, uncorruptible way of storing and securing our data. For example, I might have my data stored inside the decentralized blockchain, and if a hospital requested me to share that data, I can easily do it on my phone or my computer within a few clicks. Also, my record can be updated by hospitals every time I have a new medical record. In this way, I have my data stored in a single place, which is constantly updating every time I have a new medical record, and I can share that information with the different hospitals if they are requested that. So this is one way of blockchain implementation, and in the future we're going to discuss those industries in a very detail. As well, I'm going to give you actual companies which are already implementing these ideas. But for now, I hope that you enjoyed and you received some value from this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I will definitely reply. Also, I'm going to release news about blockchain industry and tutorials, so hit that subscribe button. And I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you next time.